Hey folks, Michael Anthony here with the Exceptional Life Podcast, baby. Yeah. All right. So I'm doing another video on my rooftop deck here. Actually, the last time I filmed a video up here, I was just getting ready to stain all this. So you could see I got it all stained. Looking pretty good. So anyways, I'm going to take a seat here. It is a beautiful day. We got the fall weather rolling in. One of my favorite times of the year. I absolutely love it. The air's getting cooler. It's in the 50s today. The leaves are starting to change. And I'm an avid outdoorsman, so it's one of my favorite times of the year. Fall and spring, I love them both. This video is going to be the first of a series of videos I'm going to do over the next several weeks on superpowers. That's right. So thanks for joining me. The first superpower I'm going to talk about today is meditation. And you might be rolling your eyes or shaking your head or maybe intrigued, hopefully. So we're going to talk all about meditation today and why it's a superpower, how it's a superpower, and how there's research and science to back that up. So if you think meditation is just about relaxing, getting all free of stress, then you are right. It's partly that. That's one small aspect of meditation, just relaxing. There's much more to it than that. In fact, meditation allows you to perform better, allows you to be a better human being in all areas of your life. It's a way for you to not only manage your stress and to better regulate your emotions, it truly is a way for you to get more out of life, to meet your goals and objectives, to change your limiting beliefs, your personalities, anything that's holding you back, to enhance every area of your life. And I know this because it's been happening to me over the last few years as I took on meditation as a daily practice. It became better and better. And I now am a daily practitioner and a very firm believer that everybody, absolutely everybody, should be meditating. And like I mentioned before, it truly is a performance enhancing superpower. It is something that will allow you to learn faster, to retain information much more efficiently, to recall and assimilate information with ease, to become more aware of everything, to expand and enhance your perception of reality. It truly is amazing. And I love it. I love it. So if you're looking to improve any area of your life whatsoever, if you're looking to perform better in your job, your career, if you're looking to start a business, if you're looking to write a book, if you're looking to pursue your passions, or even just manage your stress and your emotions better, improve your relationships, regardless, it could be anything. Meditation is a way to get you there. The beautiful thing about it is everything is so interconnected. As you start to become more self-aware and you start to build more of an awareness of your life and of yourself and others around you with meditation, meditation will enhance all areas of your life. Your health, your well-being, your state of being, your attitude, your personality, your relationships, your goals and objectives, your career, any of that. All of that is interconnected based on your state of being, your beliefs about yourself and the world outside of you and what you're projecting outward. So meditation is one of the single most important superpowers in my toolbox. And I think you should take it on too and enhance your life. Become exceptional, right? Create greatness. Become more confident in yourself and your abilities. And meditation will help get you there. And that's just one of the superpowers. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a series of videos on other superpowers that I use in my daily practices. And so I think meditation's top of the list. So let's talk a little more. So to kick this video off about meditation, I'm not going to be doing any sort of meditation in this video. I'm just going to be talking about it. My goal is to intrigue you a bit, to share with you some of my experiences and where I've seen tremendous benefits by implementing meditation as a daily practice and why it is a superpower, and also how science backs it up. Now, there's plenty of research out there to back up everything I'm talking about. So one of the things I did in preparing for this video is I took my notebook here and I took about a minute and a half and I just wrote down all of the benefits I could think of just off the top of my head. Really, if I spent a good half hour really doing some introspection and thinking about all the areas of my life that have improved, this list would have been much more in-depth, more exhaustive, more detailed. But I really wanted to just get a good intuitive sense of the top things that came to mind. And I ended up getting a list. I kept going. I was just writing and writing until I stopped. And then I just stopped and I left it at that. So this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but it's some of the same benefits and value that I've heard of other people, that I've heard from other people who've integrated meditation and mindfulness as part of their daily lives. And so a lot of common themes on this list. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through these 20 things quickly, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about each one or anything like that. I just want to go through this list and share with you where I've seen significant benefits and value in my life, areas of my life that have changed for the better because of meditation. And perhaps some of these items on here will intrigue you enough that you want to start to implement meditation as part of your daily practice. So let me just start going through this list, and I'm going to try not to add too much commentary to any one of these items. I could certainly get into very detailed analysis on each one, but I don't want to do that as part of this video. I don't want you getting bored hearing about all the benefits I've experienced, but I'm sure if you start to implement meditation, you would experience some of this as well. So let's start at the top here. More awareness and more self-awareness. Okay? That's a very important one, and that was the first one that came to mind for me. And I know I said I wasn't going to spend too much time talking about any of these particular points, but that's one that I'm going to come back to after I get through the list, because there's so much more to that I really want to unpack a bit and explain. But more awareness and more self-awareness, super important. More self-control, better self-control, more happiness and contentment, especially with where I'm at in life. I find myself much more in that flow state, right? Firing on all cylinders, fully focused, fully confident, just at my best. I started dreaming again. And it's not that I didn't dream before meditation, but I never remembered my dreams. And it was rare that I could even recall a dream. So that was pretty unique, and it was also very apparent when I noticed it. After starting to meditate, I became much more of a vivid dreamer, and I dream now pretty much every night. I can remember very vivid dreams almost every night. Okay, the next one here. I really started to expand and change my perception of reality. It was just a natural occurrence that happened, and that plays a lot into the first one about self-awareness and building more awareness. My perception of reality changed quite a bit, and what I mean by that is I started to see through this veil of reality that's kind of projected onto us or from us based on beliefs, based on trends, based on the news or the media, or even cultural beliefs. I started to see through a lot of these perceptions and these beliefs in a whole different manner that I never even noticed before. I noticed more patterns. I noticed more beliefs within others. It's a very unique an interesting circumstance of meditation that's been very powerful as well. Metacognition, so improving my metacognition, and essentially what that means is being able to kind of take my consciousness and step outside of myself and see myself from an outside perspective, especially as it relates to being triggered or emotions or beliefs, almost looking at yourself from a different perspective, almost like I'm looking at myself from another person's perspective. So that's been an interesting aspect of meditation that's developed over time, and it plays a very strong role in different types of meditations I do, visualizations, and just being able to better manage myself, my state of being, my attitude, my reactions and whatnot. Improved focus tremendously. So much to the point that I started reading a lot more. I've always enjoyed books, but I always had a hard time reading because I would get so distracted and my mind would constantly wander. Now I read an average of 2 books a month. I'm much more focused when I have a task that I want to do or work on. I can become ultra focused, and it's been a tremendous benefit to my entire life, especially my career, my passions, my pursuits, my relationships, being able to focus and listen to people, not being distracted. It's been a tremendous benefit. Better emotional self-regulation, that's huge, right? Not giving your power away to triggers and to emotions and to other people who may be triggering you. Better emotional self-regulation is a huge benefit that can improve your overall health and well-being. More creativity, more ideas, just became much more creative. I was always very creative as a child, but as I got older, especially into my 20s, I felt less creative than I was when I was younger. And I feel like I'm tapping back into that creativity I had as a child. Before, I was conditioned through society and my family and friends and schooling. I'm really tapping back into that creativity again. And this podcast is one of the end results of that. I never imagined myself starting a podcast, never even considered it before, but it's one of those creative ideas that have come to fruition as a result of my daily practices, especially meditation. I've also become much more passionate for reading and writing and pursuing creative ideas, learning different things. Like I said, I'm reading on average 2 books per month. I've just become passionate about learning as much as I can, especially about the brain, about myself, about my goals and objectives and how to reach those goals and objectives, and taking on different activities and things I want to learn. It's been truly amazing. This is a good one here. So just finding joy in the simple things in life, right? Being able to sit on this deck and enjoy the view and hear the sounds of the city or of nature over here, right? The birds flying around, just being able to enjoy that, actually finding joy in that, being grateful for it. Much less distracted too, because I find joy in things. I don't need as much stimulation or arousal from things outside of myself, right? So that's been huge. Better visualizations. So visualization is one of the forms of meditation that I practice. I like to practice regularly, and my visualizations became more vivid, and they became much easier to do with time. And that's been incredible, because when I get into these visualizations, I get so deep at times that I actually feel like I'm really living in that visualization that I'm creating with my mind, with thought alone. And when I come out of it, it's like, wow, I felt like I was somewhere completely different. And that's been powerful. That's been very powerful. Just an overall sense of well-being, improved physical health, that has been tremendous. I had some different health conditions that I was battling that I'm going to make some videos about and talk more about as it relates to health and nutrition. But I was able to implement and learn and understand nutrition and physical exercise and health more so than I ever have before. And I was a personal trainer for many years. I did it on the side when I was working full-time in sales. And it's amazing how improving your attitude in increasing the capacity at which you can learn and improving your ability to personally develop and improve oneself allows you to better understand all areas of your life and how to improve it. So nutrition and health and physical activity was something that I've always been interested in, and I really started to focus on that in the last 10 years. But it wasn't until I started meditating where I opened up a whole new doorway to understanding and experiencing health and nutrition, physical activity, and kind of all those physical areas that a lot of people focus on. It became easier to understand and easier to implement because my state of being, my attitude, my beliefs have all shifted because of meditation. So I think the nutritional changes I made, my understanding of nutrition and the human body was a great step in the right direction, but it wasn't until I implemented mindfulness, meditation, and these other practices where I really started to notice significant changes. And I'm going to talk more about that in some other videos. So just my overall health has improved tremendously. And I think it was a combination of mindfulness, meditation exercises, self-improvement, developing more of an awareness, as well as my nutritional habits, my physical activity habits, and so on and so forth. Improved mental health, improved emotional health, stress management, more coherence and calmness, being able to be calm, confident, and focused, and not all amped up and aroused by things outside of me or things that are triggering me. I'm not saying I don't get triggered anymore, but much less than I did in the past. A better sense of others' emotional well-being, a better sense of others' intentions. My intuition really developed significantly, and I have some amazing stories I'm going to share about that that I couldn't believe, and it's pretty awesome, and it truly is a superpower in itself. So I definitely developed more of my intuition, my sixth sense, whatever you want to call it, and my ability to read others, to sense other people, what they're going through, their energy, their emotions. And that's been extremely powerful. Okay, the last one that I wrote down, more manifestation. So the ability to bring things to fruition, whether it's goals, objectives, things that I want, things I want to experience, circumstances, events, certain types of people. I definitely noticed the ability to attract and align with more of that which I desire. So more manifestation. And that's been awesome. So that's the list. And I know that's a pretty extensive list, but there's so much more. Like I said, I wrote that down in about 90 seconds, and I could have spent an hour writing down all the benefits I've experienced, because meditating, mindfulness is truly a superpower that will make you superhuman and allow you to start living a more exceptional and intentional life full of awesomeness, greatness, and excitement, and joy, and confidence, right? So that's what it's all about. Now, I wanted to come back to the first one, which was self-awareness and having more of an awareness of reality and of myself. And that was the first one I wrote down. And so I'm going to spend a couple minutes just talking about it, just so you can start to understand. Because when you say self-awareness, people just kind of like, whatever, what's that really mean? Like, I'm aware of myself, right? I want to try to explain what that means, because if you don't have a regular meditation practice and you have not experienced it, then it's hard to explain. So I do have one specific way I might try to explain it. So imagine if one day you woke up and all of your senses, all of your five senses, including your sixth sense, your intuition, your psychic abilities. Imagine if all six of those senses suddenly were enhanced by 25% or something like that. Just imagine for a moment what that would be like, right? How would your life change, right? Imagine if you could see 25% better, like you could see an ant on the wall like 100 yards away, right? Like eagle-eye vision. Or you could hear incredibly well all of a sudden, right? You could hear somebody whispering down the street, right? That'd be amazing. Or you could see like other light wave patterns, right? We only see a small band of light, but the entire light spectrum is very comprehensive. There are light bands that we cannot see, like the infrared light band. But imagine if you could start to see, you could see the energy of our mobile devices floating through the air. You could see the wind and the particles that make up the wind. You could just see things incredibly well that you never could see before. Or imagine just touching a surface and you could sense just the microscopic indentations and grooves that you can never feel before on a surface. Or your intuition was enhanced to a point where you could feel what people are thinking, or you could sense what they're going to say before they say it, or you could read their body language like no other, right? Or you had these psychic abilities to be able to sense something before it happens, right? So imagine one day if you woke up and every sense that you experienced was enhanced by 25%. Your life would be pretty different, and it would be pretty amazing the power that you could pull from that, right? Now, I'm not saying that through meditation all of my senses improved like that, but it's a way for me to explain what it's like to enhance your self-awareness. You become more aware of things that you never noticed before. You're able to sense things sometimes before they happen. Your subconscious mind starts to really work for you instead of against you. You start to bring things into fruition much more efficiently than ever before. So it truly is almost like this awakening, right? There's this awareness that develops and expands and enhances, and you could see through this perception of reality, the veil of reality that most people believe is there. And that sounds a little out there, but what I'm saying is what we see and feel and sense and understand is our reality is really based on the limits of our sensory perception of reality, right? There's so much more to reality we have no awareness of because we are limited by our senses. And I'm not going to go too far down that rabbit hole, but the point is you develop this awareness that allows you to become much more powerful, more intentional, and more of a manifester of your life. You can start to create your life intentionally instead of reacting to the circumstances of your present reality. Whew. All right, so I'm going to take a little sip of coffee here. Got my Yeti mug. That's some good coffee. That's bulletproof style. I got some ghee in there and a goat's milk. Really good stuff. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the science and the research that back up meditation, because I know people care about that, and some people think meditation and they get shut off. They think it's just this spiritual woo-woo type stuff, and it's not. So I'm just a regular Joe, right? I'm a regular type of guy that's become an expert in my life. I've become an ambassador of my life. I'm living my life much more intentionally, and meditation is a way to do that. So try to let go of those limiting beliefs that may put up some resistance against meditation. You don't have to be some fancy spiritual being to practice meditation. Meditation's being practiced by professional athletes, by CEOs of companies. It's being practiced by all sorts of artists, musicians, painters, whatever. Meditation is extremely powerful, and it really is next generation mental technology that you're going to hear more and more about, because it truly allows you to live a more intentional, powerful, beneficial life in the manner in which you want to live it. So meditation has been proven, and there's plenty of research out there, to change your brain in very powerful and beneficial ways. So neuroscience will tell you that the brain is like this very malleable thing, right? This organ, if you want to call it that it's almost like a piece of clay, in our skull that's constantly in a state of flux. It's changing, it's firing and wiring neural patterns, it's pruning apart other neural patterns, and it's this amazing organ that is so incredibly powerful, and so many people don't realize how powerful it truly is. And meditation changes it for the better. It makes it more powerful. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, which is a really cool statistic that always stuck out to me, and any neuroscientist will tell you this, is that the electrical activity in your brain, the power in your brain, in one human brain, is more powerful than every smart device put together on the planet, right? Isn't that incredible? Think about that for a moment. The first time I heard that, I was like, what, really? Are you kidding me? One human brain has more electrical activity, more power than every mobile device, iPad, whatever, on the entire planet. That's how powerful your brain is. So let that sink in for a moment, right? Let's start to utilize that power. We can start to utilize more of that power through meditation. And that's why it's one of the superpowers that's going to make you superhuman. It's going to make you awesome. One of the ways in which meditation strengthens the power of your brain is through thickening of what's called the corpus callosum. So what is that, right? That sounds like a real scientific term, right? So the corpus callosum is a bundle of neurons, of white matter, that connects the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Okay, so when you thicken that area, when you thicken that corpus callosum in your brain, which happens through meditation, through regular meditation, it's been shown to increase and thicken that area. The hemispheres of your brain become more interconnected. You start to perceive more. You start to become more self-aware. You become more focused. You are able to better manage your stress and your emotions and your triggers. It enhances your brain, the power of your brain, and allows you the ability to enhance your life because of that thickening of that white matter, which is very powerful. All you need to know is that if you start meditating on a daily basis, you are going to literally make your brain more powerful. And you're going to physically thicken an area of your brain that's going to make you more powerful, more interconnected, more perceptual. It's amazing. That has to do with the self-awareness, the awareness, the first benefit I listed, right? That is an end result of that. It's one that I've experienced personally, and you can too. So another area of research also related to the brain is the gray matter, the thickening of the gray matter through regular meditation practice. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is by thickening the gray matter of your brain, it allows you to literally have a younger brain, a younger, more resilient brain that's more powerful. So you're thickening the white matter, you're thickening the gray matter. It's awesome. And what the point is that your brain's going to become more powerful. It's going to become younger. It's going to enhance itself. I mean, why wouldn't you want that, right? If everybody started meditating, this world would be a much more incredible place to live. Just some food for thought. One last thing I'll mention too is that because of this overall enhancement to the brain and to your emotional self-regulation and stress management, it also has been proven that you have a higher pain threshold because you're able to disassociate from things causing pain. You're able to, through thought alone, ignite other emotions and other feelings and perceptions. So meditation truly is a superpower that's going to allow you to become a superhuman. A higher pain threshold, better learning, better focus, better awareness, being able to perceive and sense and understand and assimilate information. It's an amazing superpower that you should definitely consider adding to your daily routine. If you're going to get up and brush your teeth every morning or at night, if you're going to take a shower every day, then you should definitely be doing some meditation. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes a day, you're going to reap tremendous benefits. I guarantee it. So enough of the science. Let's talk about meditating in general. And I'm just going to give you a few tips so you could start to meditate right away. And I'm going to make other videos on meditation and how to meditate and ways in which I meditate. So when it comes to meditation, there's some stigmas around that. You got to sit a certain way. You got to sit Indian style or wear beads or you got to chant and stuff like that. And yeah, that's all part of it, right? There's amazing practices out there that implement those types of activities, but you don't have to do that. So there's no wrong way to meditate, really. There's no bad meditation, right? There's all sorts of different ways to meditate. So this is all about you and what feels right to you. And so I want you to try to maybe research some different forms of meditation. There's some phenomenal experts out there. And so just a few names I could recommend would be Sam Harris. He actually has an app called Waking Up. I like to use that on and off. I use it sometimes I don't. He has lots of great content, interviews, different videos you can learn from, and he has guided meditations that you can do. There's the Headspace app. I've used that a few times. There's Emily Fletcher. She's awesome. If you have not heard of Emily Fletcher, she's got an amazing personality, a fun, beautiful personality. I would definitely look her up. She has some books that she's authored, and she has some meditation courses and stuff like that, but she is a whiz when it comes to meditation and mindfulness. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks all about meditation. It's a regular part of the stuff that he teaches. I have some of his guided meditations that I like to implement at times. So there's plenty of great people you can learn from out there. So I suggest take some time, Google search YouTube, Start learning about meditation. Don't get too caught up in different types of meditations, or if you should be sitting a certain way, or wearing a certain clothing, or if you're doing it wrong, and then beating yourself up because you don't think you're doing it right. So that's another tip, is don't beat yourself up and don't worry if you're doing it right or wrong. Just do it. Just do it, and whatever happens, happens. You're never going to get to a point where you're able to control every thought in your mind. You're going to always get distracted. Your thoughts are going to wander. You're going to have a hard time getting focused in meditation. That's going to always happen. But you will get better and better with meditation. But there will never be a time where you just become totally enlightened and you're able to avoid distraction and all that. I mean, maybe there's some people like that. I'm certainly not there. And that's fine. It's, you don't want to beat yourself up. If you're beating yourself up, then you're putting yourself in the wrong state of mind. It's a disempowering energy that you're projecting because you're beating yourself up. So don't do that, right? So one tip I can give you, a quick, easy way you could start to meditate right now, right away, as soon as you get done with this video, is to simply focus on your breathing. A lot of my videos, I talk about breath work and breathing, in specifically deep abdominal breathing. So for your very first meditation, what I want you to try to do is to just spend maybe a few minutes. It might only be a few minutes. You might have a hard time getting yourself just to do 3 minutes. But if you could spend 5 minutes, try to do it. Set a timer on your phone, 5 minutes. Get in an area where you won't be distracted. And as far as the position, I just like to sit in a comfortable position. One thing I do like to do is keep my spine erect, nice posture, my shoulders back, and I close my eyes, my chin up. And it doesn't matter where you're sitting, right? I sit on chairs, I sit on the bed with my legs out in front of me. You could sit in your car before a meeting or something like that and meditate. It doesn't really matter. I don't lay down because that's too easy to fall asleep. I've tried it and I fall asleep. You don't really want to fall asleep. If you want to go to sleep, then lay down. But if you want to meditate, then just sit up. Sit up in your bed, sit up on a chair. If you want to sit Indian style, sit Indian style. I do that once in a blue moon. It's not my favorite way to meditate. And it's certainly not a requirement. As far as your hands, just put your hands in a comfortable position. Put them on your knees. Put them on the arms of the chair. Just let them sit down in your waist. Just put them in a comfortable position. Just be comfortable, spine erect, close your eyes, and you're going to focus on your breathing. That's what your meditation is. Your goal is to focus on your breathing. You're going to do deep abdominal breathing. So the way I do it is I breathe in through my nose, nice and slow, and I fill up my abdominal region first. And once that gets to full capacity, then I fill up my chest. And then I pause for a second or two, and then I slowly release the air from my stomach and then my chest, usually out through my nose. You could even do it through your mouth. It doesn't really matter, but I do like to breathe in through my nose. So it just looks like this. So that was one full breath. Just doing that one breath just made me feel incredible. But anyways, when you do the breath in, it might be 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds long. Just a brief pause, and then slow breath out. Deep abdominal breathing. So you're going to close your eyes, and you're just going to focus on that for 5 minutes. Now your goal is to bring your attention and your focus back to the breathing whenever your mind wanders, because it's probably going to wander. It might start wandering as soon as you start doing it. So you want to focus on your breathing. And when I say that, feel all of the sensations of the breath. Feel the air going in through your nose, down the back of your throat, into your stomach, filling up your stomach. Feel your stomach expanding. Feel your chest expanding. Feel that pause. So use your senses to feel the sensations of the breath. And you're going to start to feel warm, fuzzy feelings as you do these breaths, and your body is going to feel really good. So just experience it, be aware of it, notice it, and just follow the breath in and out. And every time your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the breath. And do that for 5 minutes to start. If you can only do it for 2 or 3, that's fine. And that's meditation. That is one form of meditation. I still do that meditation all the time. I'll do it for 10, 20 minutes, half hour, an hour. I would say if you're first starting out, you're going to have a hard time maybe just doing it for a couple minutes. So start small, one step at a time, just a couple minutes, If you could do it longer, do it longer. I usually don't do anything less than 10 minutes a day. 5 minutes is fine. There's no hard, fast rules on this. I think the longer the better, but you got to work yourself up. You got to work your way up to that. So don't beat yourself up. Set a timer for 2 minutes if you have to. And then just start to do this on a daily basis. Now, one other thing I'm going to talk about, I'm going to add here, is that it took me a couple years just to form a habit out of doing a daily meditation. So because of my old habits, my impatience, my distractions, I had a hard time turning meditation into a daily routine. When I first started years ago, I would do it maybe once or twice a week if I was lucky. And the funny thing was, I had no problem meditating for 10, 20 minutes or a half hour. Every time I got into a meditation, it would feel really good. And when I ended the meditation, I felt great. And I would say to myself, wow, I'm going to do that again. But because I had so much resistance against it, and because I was literally battling myself, it took me forever to get past my procrastination and my excuses that I would come up with every time I intended on meditating. And so for that first year, I really only meditated maybe twice a week if I was lucky, and I would go sometimes weeks without doing it, even though it felt incredible. But I kept persisting and trying and doing it and doing it. The second year, I was much more efficient at it. I was averaging 2-3 times a week regularly, and I felt incredible, but it still was hard. I was still battling myself to get to that daily routine. And the meditations were getting great. Like, I was doing different types of meditations, and I like to mix it up and do all sorts of meditations, sometimes 10 or 20 minutes, other times an hour long. And I was really enjoying them, but just getting myself to initiate them and do them was the hardest part for me. And then it was amazing. The third year, right around the third year, it was like a light switch flicked on. I actually looked forward to doing it, and I started just doing it out of the blue every single day. There was no more resistance. I enjoyed it, and I looked forward to it. That's the point at which it became a habit. It sunk into my subconscious mind. I got beyond myself, and I became literally almost like a different person. I had fired and wired it so much over the course of the 2 years that it became an automatic habit. Now I look forward to meditating every day, and if I miss a day, which is rare, then I actually feel out of sorts. And that is the power of using that subconscious mind to establish a new habit, a new powerful superpower habit that you could do every day. So don't beat yourself up. You're probably going to battle against yourself, against your limiting beliefs and your excuses. You're going to come up with reasons not to meditate. You may not notice benefits right away. Just stick with it. And I can assure you, if you put in the time, and maybe it won't take you 3 years like it took me, or 2 full years. Everyone's different. You might experience shifts right away. Now, I was experiencing shifts over the course of those 3 years. I was experiencing tremendous benefits, but I just couldn't get to that, make it a habit on a daily basis. But now I'm at that point, and it's been amazing, and it's brought tremendous value to my life. So that's all I got for now. Give it a try. I'm going to have a lot more videos about meditation and mindfulness. Look into it, read about it, check out those people I mentioned, and try just that breathing meditation. Try to do it every day. Put it on your schedule. Make a reminder on your phone. Set a timer if you have to, or don't set a timer if you feel confident that you can just let yourself go. Focus on your breathing, sit in a comfortable position where you're not going to be distracted, and enjoy it. See what happens. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to be exceptional. All right.